Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today we are going to be talking about the 7th Doctor stories I have and haven't seen yet. And starting with season 24, we have Time and the Ronnie. This one's bad. I have seen it. I actually own it, but it's bad. The problem is that when people think of season 24, they tend to think all of season 4 is Time and the Ronnie, and it's not. Time and the Ronnie is bad. Trust me, I feel bad for McCoy because I sometimes think people who don't know better, they think of all of his tenure as Time and the Ronnie, and that's just not the case. But Time and the Ronnie is bad. Now, I've never seen Paradise Towers. I am looking forward to seeing it. I hear there's some overacting in it, apparently from one character in particular, but other than that, if you can get past that, it's a pretty fun romp, so I'm looking forward to that. I have also never seen Delta and the Bannermen. I'm also looking forward to that when the box set comes out. I know one of the guys on the Doctor Who merchandise forum, Bobby's always raving about how good Delta and the Bannermen is, so I'm looking forward to seeing if it lives up to his thoughts on it. Now, Dragonfire I have seen and do own. I actually really like Dragonfire. I find Dragonfire to be a very underrated story. I actually really enjoy it, and to me it's the saving grace of season 24 from what I've seen of it. It's the one time when people point to season 24 as being bad, I point to Dragonfire and go, Dragonfire is really good. I've talked before about how underrated it is. I think the set design is really good. I think the villain is really good. I think the villain's death is a phenomenal effect. That's really impressive. And the creature that's running around in it with the crystal in its head, I think is very well realized. I actually like the story. It's a great introduction for Ace, and I think the execution of the story is done very well. I really enjoy it. The only downside is that cliffhanger with the Doctor hanging from the umbrella is kind of silly. Kind of seems like there was probably a reason why he should have been doing that got cut before the episode aired, so it doesn't really make sense why he's hanging from the umbrella. But other than that, it's a good story. Going into season 25, we have Remembrance of the Daleks, which is really good, if a little overrated. I like the idea of a Dalek Civil War, of that the Daleks are so particular about what's Dalek and what isn't Dalek that if you're a Dalek but a slightly different Dalek, the Daleks aren't having that. The pure Daleks are like, no, they're the ultimate in prejudice and racist. And we see this come back into play in Revolution of the Daleks, the most recent special. We kind of see that again. But it's really in full display here when you have, a Dalek Civil War basically happening. And seeing that take place, Ace is good in this. She gets to beat up the Dalek with the baseball bat. That's pretty cool. I like that they're back in 1963, and that is picking up just a few days after the first Doctor left in 1963 in An Unearthly Child. I like seeing how manipulative the Doctor is here. And how he pretty much tricks the Daleks into destroying themselves. That's pretty impressive. Some pretty dark stuff. This is really the first time we see the darker, more sinister side of McCoy's Doctor, and it's really, really in fine form here. So while I think it's a little overrated, I really hate there's that little children's theme tune that plays when the little girl's running around sometimes. I can't remember which theme tune it is. It's been a while since I watched it. I just remember it's this little kid's theme tune that plays a little too much that I find annoying. I do find the soundtrack a little on this one. But other than that, it's a pretty sound story. Silver Nemesis, I think, is a little underrated. It's basically a less good version of Remembrance. It's pretty much the same story as Remembrance, but not done as well. But I still think it's worth watching. I like all the different enemies and elements coming together in it, because the Doctor really is having to fend off 3 different enemies in this thing. The Cybermen look fine, although I don't like the little chromy, shiny look on them. Their Earthshock Attack of the Cybermen look is better without all the chrome, but the story's fine. I enjoy it. I think it's just overshadowed by Remembrance. I've never actually seen the Happiness Patrol, but I am looking forward to seeing that because it seems like an interesting story. People talk really well about the Candyman, how he's a pretty interesting villain, so I am looking forward to seeing that at some point. I don't really care for The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. People seem to like this one. I did not care for it as much. I do think the guy doing the head clown does a really good job. I find the kind of Dr. Livingston-like looking character, the explorer, irksome and annoying. The werewolf girl is fine. I don't mind her at all, but the one guy's annoying. The Doctor entertaining the gods is kind of silly with all of his little stuff. Which, don't get me wrong, I love watching McCoy do his spoons and stuff. But I find the whole him buying time thing kind of silly. I don't really care for this one. This could be my least favorite McCoy story, I think. I don't like it as much as a lot of people seem to. Moving into, was that the last one? Yeah, moving into season 26, we have Battlefield. I really like Battlefield. It's nice to have the Brigadier back. I also like the other Brigadier, Bambosa, whatever her name is. I like her a lot. She's really good. And of course, I love having Nick Courtney back. I like, Jean Marsh, was that her name? The one playing, was it Morgaine? She's really good. I know she was also in Master Plan. She's really, really good here. The only real issue I have with it's the soundtrack. I don't like the incidental music, which I think Mark did to this one, but I don't really care for the incidental music in it. I really wish somebody would rescore the music for that, because it would be so much better with better music. I like the way they pull in the King Arthur myth here and tie it into them just being from another universe. I like how they pull in with the Doctor, a future version of the Doctor being Merlin. I would love to see that explored in the modern series, where we actually see the other end of the story, basically. Because I feel like Battlefield is a two-parter, and Battlefield is the second part. I would love to see, like, that future version of the Doctor that becomes Merlin somewhere in the new series. I really want to see the other half of that. When Arthur dies and he leaves the note to set everything up for Battlefield, that would be really, really neat. And I love the Doctor's speech at the end with Morgaine, when she's trying to set off the big nuke or whatever it is, and he's, no, there's not, where's the honor in that? There's nothing but death and death and death. That whole speech is, people seem to forget about that speech when they're talking about good Doctor Who speeches, but man, McCoy just kills it. He is so good in that speech. I absolutely love that speech. One of the best speeches of the classic era, in my opinion. Then we also have Ghostlight. I really like Ghostlight. Ghostlight's an unusual one, and I don't like the fact that the two characters get turned to stone toward the end. I kind of wish that hadn't happened, but I do like Ghostlight. It's just dripping with atmosphere. So much good atmosphere. That's what really sells it to me, is the atmosphere. I like some of the ideas behind it, like the idea of evolution. I do like that, the one character who's kind of evolving, that's wearing the sunglasses at the beginning and doesn't like the light. And then I like the fact that we see McCoy without his hat most of the episode. It's a good episode. Ghostlight is a lot of fun. Season 26 is really good. Then we have Curse of Fenrik, which is really good, but overrated. I do think Curse of Fenrik is overrated, while still saying it's a very good episode. Definitely essential Doctor Who viewing. There's a lot going on with it. My main complaint was I don't like the fact that the vicar, Nick Parsons' vicar character, died the way he did. I don't feel like his death was good enough. I felt like he was an important enough character to the story that he should have had a better send-off in it. So that's my main issue. I do like the fact that the two girls, once they become vampires, that they go back to the old lady who's strict on them's place and kill her. It's like there's just enough humanity for them to be like, let's go get her. I don't know, I get a kick out of that. But it's a really good story. Ace has a lot to do. It's very developing for her as a character. I really like Curse of Fenrik, but I do think it's a tad overrated. I don't think it's like top 10 classic Who viewing, but I think it's a really good story. And then Survival. I like Survival. I think Survival's probably my least favorite of the season, but I like all of them in season 26. I think season 26 is one of the best seasons in Doctor Who, honestly. It's a really good season. The cat people, kind of their outfits look kind of silly, and I wish they hadn't gone full cat look with them. Like originally they didn't want to do that. That does look very much that Puss in Boots look that I don't really care for. But it's really good for Ace. It's great development for Ace. Very much a template for what we would get in modern Who, for better or for worse. And I really like the Master in this one. I think Anthony Ainley's Master is at his best here, because they don't have him being over the top or campy or caricaturish like they had him doing sometimes. He's very serious here, and him and McCoy go off each other really, really well, especially this darker version of McCoy that he is by this point. And I would have loved to have seen, like if they had done season 27, have seen the Master come back and to have seen the Seventh Doctor and the Master square off again, because I do think the Seventh Doctor and the Master are a good pairing. They're really, really good together in this one. This is what really sells this one for me. That and the great character development for Ace. So that's my thoughts on the Sylvester McCoy era. I do enjoy him the little bit we see him in the TV movie, by the way. I really do enjoy him in the TV movie. I love his outfit. I love the way he does his hair. I would have loved to have seen that look for the Seventh Doctor more than just the very little time we get it in the TV movie. I do enjoy the TV movie. So yeah, what do you guys think of Sylvester McCoy? What episodes do you think are the best? What episodes do you think are his worst? Do you think some are overrated or underrated? Let me know down below. I always enjoy interacting with you guys and finding out what you think. Other things to do, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click that bell for notifications. I have started a Patreon page. If you would like to become a contributor for that and kind of help me steer the direction of the channel with video requests and such, there's a link to that down below. Most importantly though, stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.